6 years ago, my partner Sean and I drove up to a property in Hoosick Falls, New York to meet a 3-year-old male chocolate lab. We were led by Bill, the owner, to an area with several large outdoor kennels. He pointed toward one with a yellow lab inside. Her name is Hudu and she's 6 years old. She was a breeding dog, but a puppy from her last litter died, so Bill no longer wanted to keep her. He swung open her door as Sean excitedly approached. Hudu dove and crept away. I sat on a nearby bench, delighted by the idea of getting a dog, but nervous about her age. My first dog, Molly, was 8. We had to put her down not long after adopting her. She's memorialized in my mind with the story of her peeing in PetSmart, during which I loudly screamed, "Mommy, Molly peed!" 27 years later, I watched as Hudu walked around, sniffing the foliage and cautiously looking over at us. After a while, she walked up, sat right beside me, and let me pet her. She was dirty and anxious, but from that first contact, I knew I loved her. The next 24 hours, I maintained as much exposure as possible, petting her, coaxing her to eat turkey slices from my hands, and getting her to see that she was safe on walks with me. For her, the weeks following were highlighted by cheek-puffing anxiety and runaway attempts. I foolishly let her off leash at Sean's parents' house. She took off running downhill towards a ravine. Scraped and breathless, I managed to haul her uphill and into the house. In mid-October, we went for a walk at Sweet Pond State Park in Guilford. It was a crisp fall day, red and orange leaves covering the trail. An owl perched above in the trees, keenly watching us. We walked a safe distance into the park, looked around to make sure the trail was clear in both directions, and let Hudu off her leash. Based on our history, this could have gone poorly. But to our surprise, she excitedly jumps a few little bunny hops, crunching the leaves beneath her. She begins circling around us, sniffing the ground hard and breaking to inhale the air deeply. This gleeful outburst surprised us both, and within seconds she took off running one way down the trail, then spun around quickly and ran back to us, approaching us each to express quick sneezes, indicating she was excited. My heart swelled. I took off running, and she followed right behind, but quickly overtook me and spun around back towards Sean at a full sprint. I stood down on one side of the trail, and we took turns calling her to us. She happily ran back and forth for a bit before zooming off and up around the small hills surrounding us, letting loose for the first time since coming into our lives. She came running back around, darting up and down the hills and across the trail as if on a skateboard, hitting a halfpipe. After she tired down, we hugged and petted her, expressing how happy we were to see her playing. We clipped her leash to her collar and headed home, all thrilled by this new experience. From this point forward, she felt safe with us and continued to zoom like a puppy when given the opportunity. Today she is 12, thriving, and still eating slices of turkey from my hands.